What's up, you funky YouTube people? I'm Doomfunk, and I'm here with my Blood Necromancer build that I'm gonna be running in Hardcore Diablo 4 at launch. For me, June 1st, it will be released because I am in the United States. So I'm very excited for this build. There is a couple codex aspects that help it out and would give you time to farm up the rest of the legendaries. There is a unique or two that is very important for the build, so I'm expecting to be farming quite a bit to make sure that I get all of my pieces for this, because it's going to be very strong, very strong. It's focused around Bloodlance, and you won't even use Bloodlance until level 10. So I want to break it down, the leveling, my leveling plan, and then my late game, end game plan. So starting out, you're going to take Hemorrhage. It's going to be your core skill throughout the entire game. There's only 2 respecs in my plan, and they're not even big respecs. They are a point or 2 here or there. So level 2, Hemorrhage. Level 3, Enhanced Hemorrhage, just because you need it anyway, but also it's going to give you an AoE to help you out in those first early levels. Then you're going to go into Blood Surge. It's an AoE, and it actually heals you, I do believe. Yeah, when you get the Enhanced, it heals you. So it's really good in those first early levels. You don't have to do the respec at 10 into Blood Lance unless you if you've gotten the aspect and a rare and you want to put it on there. It could help out in those early levels. I'm planning on going right into Blood Lance when I get Corpse Explosion, because Corpse Explosion will then become my AoE. I'll kill something with Blood Lance, corpse, chain corpses, wipe all the trash off. So yeah, level 2 Hemo, 3 Enhanced Hemo, 4 Blood Surge, 5 Enhanced Blood Surge, 6 Initiates Hemo, which gives you Fortify, just a little bit of extra safety there per hit. And then with the AoE, when after you get a Blood Orb, you can trigger more Fortify, and it has a chance to just give you base 100% Fortify to begin with. It's pretty good. Fortify did get nerfed, but later on, once you get in the Paragon boards, there's a lot of things that give you an increased damage or damage resistance while you have Fortify. So Fortify is going to be pretty good later on. And then level 7, you take Supernatural Blood Surge, which is each time an enemy is hit, you get more Fortify. When you have Fortify over 50% of your maximum life, Blood Surge deals 20% increased damage. So it's a good little boop for you there early. I'm not going with Paranormal because you have to build up stacks of it, and this thing is pretty hefty cost. So we're really going to be relying on Hemo to wear things down, and then Blood Surging when we have to. It's a good skill, but it's pretty costly. So I don't want to be relying on that overpower and spamming it out. You also have to be healthy while you're doing it. So if you're getting kind of caught out early, you put yourself in a bad situation, it's not going to work for you. Whereas Supernatural Blood Surge, if you just have Fortify over your half your maximum life, you're getting that damage increase. So it's going to be pretty good there early on. Level 8, you're getting one of my favorite skills, Blood Mist. Makes you immune. You become unstoppable and gives you a small heal. You are slowed down, and it does do a little bit of damage and a small heal. It's really your oh fuck button. It's your get out of jail free card. And you can phase through enemies while you're in Blood Mist. So if you get body blocked, you're getting wailed on, use Blood Mist, move over to the side, unblood Mist. By then you should have had some essence come back, or maybe you put enough space between you to where you can use Hemorrhage, and then you catch your blood surge again. At 9, you're going to get Corpse Explosion. So for one level, you're going to have both Blood Surge and Corpse Explosion. And then at level 10, just because Bloodlance needs a little bit of help early on. That's when you're going to respec your points that are in Blood Surge and put those into Bloodlance. And this early on, you can go with the overpower one if you want. I recommend for leveling, though, Paranormal Bloodlance, because then if at least two enemies or a boss are affected by Bloodlance, you get attack speed and it reduces its essence cost, so you get to spam it onto a boss. Bloodlance does very good boss damage, which is why we're taking this. And then you go Bloodlance until you can unlock Decrepify. Decrep is a great curse. It only costs 10 essence. We're not using a whole lot of essence. The only two things we're going to have that are going to use essence are going to be Bloodlance, which we're basically going to be saving for elites and bosses. Maybe kill a trash mob if we need a corpse. Decrep's going to slow them, and they deal less damage, so it's great for trash mobs, great for bosses. And once you get Decrep, we're just going to put the points in. We're going to go right down the Decrep tree. We're going to get the lucky hit on there. Enemies afflicted with Decrepify have a 10% chance to be stunned for 2 seconds, which is great. Because you hit them with a corpse explosion, there's a good chance they're going to get stunned. You hit them with Bloodlance, there's a chance they're going to get stunned. Corpse explosion has a 40% hit lucky hit, or a 40% chance of lucky hitting. And Bloodlance has a 33%. So you get 10% of those. And Hemorrhage also has a 35% lucky hit. So we can hit things, we can make it happen. Don't expect it to happen too often, but those stuns are going to be nice, especially if you can proc them against a boss. That's going to be great. So after Decrep, you're going to max out Bloodlance. You're just going to get that damage up there. And then after after Bloodlance is maxed out, you're going to put another point into Corpse Explosion. And then that will lock you, or will unlock Corpse Tendrils. You will be level 17 at this point, or 17. When you're 18, you unlock Corpse Tendrils. Take Corpse Tendrils. This is our last skill on our hotkeys. That's it. We're not taking anything else. The core of this build is essentially done now. Level 19, you're going to take Enhanced Tendrils. Level 20, you're going to take Plagued Tendrils. Get them vulnerable, get that damage starting to pump up a little bit. And then at 21, we're starting down the Corpse Explosion path. We're increasing its radius. And then we're going into making it Darkness skill, taking that Blighted Corpse Explosion, turning it into a big shadow dot. Very strong. And since this becomes a Darkness skill, it's going to let us be able to take Reaper's Pursuit. Damaging enemies with Darkness skills increase your movement speed by 15% for 3 seconds at max rank. Because you don't have any movement skills. We're going to be relying on getting 2 or 3 evade charges on the boots, Blood Mist to get out of sticky situations. So this will allow Corpse Explosions to give us haste. So we can kite around trash mobs, Corpse Explosion, throw out a couple Blood Lances if we need to, build some Fortify up with Hemorrhage, and Decrepify, slow them down. We're hasted. At this point, we're not worried about trash mobs at all, and most elites are not a threat either. We're good to go. So we are going to max Corpse Explosion until level 25, and then at 26 is when I'm going to start taking Reaper's Pursuit. I just want the damage to be there. I want to get that damage up, then I'll worry about my haste after that, because it's still level 25. We played the beta to 25. Nothing was really scary at 25. So 26, 27, 28, I'm putting points into Reaper's Pursuit. And then I am taking... Where is it here? Hewed Flesh. Sorry, I lost it. Hewed Flesh right here. So because now we're going to be really needing corpses, we want to make sure that we can get corpses. So especially in boss fights, to be able to apply this slow, With Corpse Handles, apply the vulnerable. Get that shadow dot down. Get that haste so we can make sure that we're evading any attacks by the bosses. Hewed Flesh to get us corpses down. At 32, we're starting to get Unliving Energy, so we can unlock Imperfectly Balanced, and that's what we're going to take after that. So levels 32, 33, 34, 35 are getting Unliving Energy to unlock Imperfectly Balanced, so we can do more damage. Core skills cost more essence, 9% more essence, but they deal 15% increased damage. So 9% of 15 is, I'm pulling out the calculator. Do a whop, do times 0.09 is 1.35. So if it rounds up, I feel like there might be like fractionary costs that we can't see, so it might not round at all, but it's 1. It's not like we're using Blood Surge where it's going to be 2 on there, 25, 20. It's the lowest costing one. It's not really going to affect us too much. We're going to be throwing those out. We're going to be spamming Hemorrhage. We're going to be getting essence back with corpses. Pretty much it's going to be get haste, throw a bunch of blood lances, run around, hemorrhage, get essence back, throw a bunch of blood lances. Because of when we get Rathma's Vigor, as long as we're healthy, every 15 seconds we're going to get an overpower. And every 8 blood lance is also guaranteed to overpower. And we're going to be working on getting a lot of overpower damage. We also have Tides of Blood later on. Your blood skills are going to deal increased overpower damage, and it's doubled while you are healthy. So we're going to be dealing a ton of overpower damage periodically. So just that's pretty much the build. It's very simple, and I'm very excited to play this. And I'm gonna be, like I said, I'm gonna be playing this in hardcore, and I'm probably gonna start at World Tier 2 just to get that experience and that gold buff. I don't see myself playing World Tier 1. I am absolutely terrified of the Butcher, but if the Butcher pops up, hopefully we still have minions. If not, we might be able to do some bursty shit, and with haste, I'm less scared of the Butcher. With haste, with Blood Mist, much less scared of the Butcher. Also, we should be healing from blood orbs, so we can stand and deliver some blood lances to his face, pop a Blood Mist, go away, pop some corpses, run away. I'm terrified of the Butcher because the Butcher's fucking scary, but depending on when we run into him, if we run into him, I think we're gonna be all good to go. So, back onto this. After we do Imperfect Balance, that's where we get Rathma's Vigor. And this is where, if I haven't already, I'm going into Supernatural Bloodlands. Like I said, I might be in Paranormal for leveling, just for the attack speed and the reduced essence cost, so because I'm going to be spamming it a lot more. And at this point, I should be having some more resource generation in some legendaries and some abilities on some items. Probably going to be giving me some more resource. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a bit of farming with this build. This isn't going to be I'm going to speed run the campaign with this. No, I'm going to be steady. This is a steady grind plan because, and I'll show you here in a minute, but there are a couple items that are very important to the build as far as legendary aspects go. And I'll post this level guide here. This is up on D4 builds as well. Blood for ZBG, blood for the blood god. It's looking pretty good to me. Where'd it go here? Boom, right back. After Rathma's Vigor, we're getting Grim Harvest, just so we can unlock Fueled by Death. I'm not sure how well Fueled by Death stacks for popping multiple corpses. We're going to find out. And then we go into Gruesome Mending. We go down this tree here. The end of this build, we already have our skills. We've already maxed out Corpse Explosion and Blood Lance. Everything else from here is putting points into passives that you can see here. Crippling Darkness is one of the maybes, because it gives our darkness skills have a lucky hit chance to stun for 1 second. It doesn't say damage or anything like that, so I'm working under the assumption that Corpse Explosion becoming a darkness skill could lucky hit 40% of the time, and then 15% of that time it can stun for 1 second, which could help us with bosses. But we also have Corpse Tendrils here, which stuns enemies for 3 seconds. So not the worst to have a little bit extra, but it's also not needed. So if there's a passive you want better, like if you're really wanting to just like not just YOLO it, you can take Death's Embrace to get some DR and do more damage to close enemies. Could be good if you're scared of the Butcher, like myself. I might go that route. Some of the passives are not 100%, but the core of the build is Hemorrhage, Blood Lance, Blood Mist, Corpse Explosion as Blighted, Decrep, and Corpse Tendrils, and that's it. The passives can be personal choice, and I might play with them a little bit here and there, depending on how I'm feeling about it and what's working for me, what's not working for me. But that's the core of it. It's really great. It's really good, really great at killing trash mobs and killing bosses. I was doing pretty much this build on the first beta with the Necromancer, where we got to level 25, and even without a ton of legendary powers, it was like trash was trash and bosses were fucking paper. It was beautiful. So legendary aspects, the important ones, I'm looking at going with not a two-hander, with an offhand, probably not a shield, whatever the book or the little skull thing you hold, one of those, because it's kind of aspect hungry a little bit. We want Blood Lance to kind of also help us in boss fights with taking out adds, because Blood Lance also does damage per how many lance, or per how many lance enemies you have. So if there's a boss fight that has adds, you want aspect of the hungry blood. Because Bloodseeker's aspect scales with how many targets are lanced, and it counts per the lance target itself. So you're also doing 15 to 25% increased damage to that primary target for one target being lanced. So it's already a flat damage increase there. So it's very good. We're going with aspect of Wrathma's Chosen. Whenever your blood skills overpower, you gain attack speed. Really help throw those blood lances out real quickly. Hemorrhage to get your essence back very quickly. Aspect of Grasping Veins for since we're using Corpse Tendrils, we're going to get critical strike chance and damage to because we get the critical strike chance when we cast Corpse Tendrils, and then enemies that have been damaged by Corpse Tendrils, we do extra critical strike damage too. So critical strike on overpower is a lot of damage, and if we are pretty much going in a frenzy here and throwing out a lot of blood lances, it's gonna wipe elites, it's gonna wipe trash, it's gonna wipe bosses. It's very good. Pretty much everything else is kind of pick and choose. The only unique on here that's essentially necessary for the build late game, for when the bosses have a ton of health, when you're getting to the capstone dungeon and you're gonna really need to like chew down on some opponent's health bars. We're gonna be doing some farming for the Ring of Starless Skies. So it's gives core skill damage, but also each consecutive core skill cast reduces the resource cost of your next core skill by 8 to 12%, up to a maximum of 40%. So it's keeps building on itself up to 40%. So if we're paying 16 for Bloodlance, we're now paying 8 for Bloodlance. And if we have 100, like if we had 100, like we're getting that 8th Bloodlance hitting. And if we can do it quick enough, we'll be critting while they're vulnerable. And while we have increased crit damage, while we have increased overpower damage. It's gonna chew through bosses. Ghostwalker's aspect is a must include. It's one you get from a dungeon. It says progress campaign actually to unlock it. So while unstoppable and for 4 seconds after, you gain increased movement speed and can freely move through enemies. So you know what makes you unstoppable? Blood Mist. You cast Blood Mist, you get hasted. You are hasted while you're doing shadow damage to when you cast Corpse Explosion, and that hits an enemy, you're hasted. Just through the protecting aspect on here for when you're not when hit while not healthy, a magic bubble is summoned around you, gives us a chance to get back to healthy. Blood soaked aspect is actually pretty cool. Blood Mist leaves a trail for 4 seconds, deals X shadow damage to enemies who stand in it. Your movement speed is no longer reduced while Blood Mist is active. So not only are you no longer slowed, you're also getting hasted. So this is gonna keep you mobile. And that's gonna be very important because Necro is not mobile. It's tough, it's not mobile. And then of course the aspect of Explosive Mist, which is just going to be a great for keeping the cooldown low on Blood Mist. Whenever you do use it, you pop corpse, cooldown goes down on it. It's going to drop a corpse, cooldown goes down on it. It's going to be a great, just another great little synergy in here. It's a very synergistic build. And then we all hope we can get the Harlequin crest. It would be nice. Just because +4 ranks to all fucking skills, and that extra damage reduction would be nice. The only thing I'm going to be that is on here that is a unique that is really needed is this Ring of Starless Skies, and I will be farming the fuck out of this thing. And I'm gonna post a video once I get it too. I'll let everybody know. As far as the sacrifices go, this is a no minion build, so we're sacrificing the defenders so we can get non-physical resistance, just because we want to be able to survive. We don't want to be taking crazy dots, magical damages and stuff. We want to be able to just take them a bit easier. You can also take the critical strike chance if you're feeling good. You can also take the increased shatter damage. If you're feeling like you're not killing trash mobs quick enough, but I'm taking the non-physical resistance. I'm also going to sacrifice my bone mages, so we get our overpower is increased by 40%. Overpower damage is increased by 40%. We have a lot of added overpower damage. Our overpower is going to be hitting hard, and we're going to be critting with them too. So let's go. And I was going to do the attack speed golem, but then someone suggested that I take the critical strike damage golem, and it's just a better math for more damage. The only thing I'm thinking about is I want to get those overpowers off, just because critical strike damage is nice, but an overpower does more than critical strikes anyway. And if I'm critical striking, so it's a toss up between. I'm gonna do some testing and see what feels better. I'm not a over-the-top math nerd, so if somebody is, please do the math for me. But the attack speed golem or the critical strike damage golem. And that's it, besides Paragon boards, which I'm planning on taking a 4-board path. Just because a lot of the glyphs aren't the best for me. They do a lot of good things I feel like there's a lot of Necromancer builds. Only extra one would be like this close damage, this close enemies, but I feel like that'd be better for thorns. I don't have any minions. Nope. Nope. Blood orbs fortify you for max health. It's not too bad. Enemies afflicted by cursed seals take 10% increased damage. We're not using the golem. Nope. Nope. See, this one that might be alright. Dealing damage to a vulnerable enemy increases your damage by 1% for 6 seconds up to 10%. It's not bad, but I'm just gonna like all these legendary nodes are great. Attacks that are guaranteed to overpower deal 50% increase overpower damage. That's just more right there. Legendary node. We're taking the glyph when you overpower an enemy. All your damage they take from you and your minions increased by 12%. And that's the last Paragon board also that we're going into. And that's also going to have quite a bit of points on it. Just because there's some pretty good rare nodes on here. Damage while fortified. Healing received. Damage while fortified. Damage over time reduction and resistance to elements. Like, I'm putting a lot of points into this board here. Damage, fortified generation increase. Damage while healthy, overpower damage. Yeah. We're taking... So the glyphs we're taking are Dominate, Imbiber, just for the increased damage while healthy. And we're taking Sacrificial. Oh, yeah, Sacrificial. 10% increased damage while you have no active minions. That's our first, or Undaunted is our first glyph. More damage reduction the more fortify you have. We're going on focusing on survivability first. And then the last one is our extra damages. The rare nodes we're taking are going to be, or the legendary nodes we're taking are going to be Bloodbath, where the hell did this one go? Oh, Wither. Shatter damage over time effects have a 5% chance to deal 50% bonus damage each time they deal damage. So because we are going to be doing a lot of dot damage with Corpse Explosion, it's pretty good. And Blood begets blood. Blood orbs grant 5% increased damage up to 15%. Might swap these two boards just because the shadow damage might be a bit better earlier. We'll see how the blood orbs are, if they're pooping out pretty quickly. But yeah, I'm very excited for this build. I will have a link to it in the description below. I stream on Twitch. I will be streaming on Twitch. I have drops after release. Starting June 5th, I will have drops on my Twitch. I'll be playing this Hardcore Necromancer live. The first weekend is going to be pretty much the go time. We're going to go hardcore into hardcore with this build. So stop by, cheer us on, tell us we suck, whatever. I got a smooth brain. I do big numbers. That's what I do. So hop into fun. Thanks for stopping by. I hope this build works for you if you try it out. I'm very excited for it. And if you got any other build ideas, or if you want me to do a build for you after I die, or at some point on in the future, I will be doing other builds for my builds. I'm not going to be doing I'm not like Rax. I'm not going to be doing a ton of build guides. I'm going to be talking about ones that I'm playing specifically. So thanks for stopping by. Peace the fuck out, motherfuckers.